Hi, welcome back to Writing Keeping It Real. It is the day after my first day substituting. And as I was driving there yesterday, I realized I have not been in the classroom as a teacher for 20 years. That's what it dawned on me. So I got there a little bit early at about 10:15. Started at 10:30. I realized that I probably shouldn't do all day, so I was doing half days, 10:30 to 2:15, two classes. Got there early, figured out how to log in, and I was substituting in Virginia, in the school district where the 6-year-old shot the teacher. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing it, just to see what is the classroom like now. Boy, was I in for a shock. It was nothing like it was 20 years ago, really. I mean, some things were, the desks were the same, but everything was really computerized. I got there early enough where I saw the teacher, and she was super organized. She had worksheets for me, she had building passes, seating chart, everything great. So I kind of went over all that before the kids started coming in. They started coming in, and I said, "Hey, how are you doing? I'm Maria Williams. That's my legal name. I'm Maria Williams, and your teacher's not here right now. If I can get you to, sign your name, and here's a worksheet." Okay, everybody kind of did that. And oh no, the teacher's not here. Okay, so some of them sat down in their seats. Other of them sat other places. I could tell. All of them pretty much just started talking. Chit chatting on their phones, scrolling on their phones. Some of them did. Some of them got right to work, logged on, found the answers to the worksheet, and I was just kind of observing. I would say, like, for the first 15 minutes, I had to do the attendance. It was required. Do the attendance in 15 minutes and get it to the attendance office. Okay. So I did that. Just kind of confirmed who was here and who was not in their seats. And there was a young man who had come up to me early because he got to the classroom a little bit early. And he told me that he had been suspended. And this was his first day back. He had been suspended for 10 days for an altercation that did not include any fighting or hands on. 10 days for that. And so he was kind of up and about throughout that first 15 minutes. And I can tell he was like the either leader or the informal leader. And he'd asked me to go to the restroom. Other kids had asked me to go to the restroom in that first 15 minutes as well. It's a big deal. I'll explain that. So I decided I asked him to do two things for me, or to do one thing for me. I'm going to give him a pass to go to the restroom, but to take this attendance sheet to the attendance lady, right? Give him some responsibility. He did. Came right back. That was great. Um, what I meant with the kids going to the restroom is that as I went throughout the day, it didn't take me long to figure this out. I felt my role was not really as a teacher, and I didn't get the impression that a lot of teachers are really quote unquote standing up there teaching anymore. It was Everything is kind of computerized, so they're doing everything online anyways. I got the impression it was more as a facilitator babysitter, right? And part of that role was to keep them in the classroom, manage the classroom, get them to do their work during that hour and a half. And their role was to get the work done quickly or not quickly, be on the phone, talk to their friends, get out of classes they could by getting a note so they can go to the restroom or another classroom. I was like, wow. Okay. So the first class went pretty good. I talked to a young man who, kind of was looking at me, and he's like, "Hey, why are you looking like that?" I said, "I'm just in awe of you guys." He says, "Why?" I said, "I can see the potential." I saw the potential in them, but I also saw the fact that all of this quote unquote free education was not education at all, right? So he came up to me and we started talking, asking what he wanted to do after high school. And he said he wanted to be a mechanical engineer for aircraft for planes. I said, "Wow, that's pretty specific." He said, "Well, he's taking that kind of class in high school." I said, "Oh, that's great." Then I asked him, had he ever flown on an airplane? And he said, "No." I said, "Well, you should save up a couple $100, go from Virginia to Atlanta, and see what it feels like to fly on a plane and why it's important that the mechanical parts of the plane work." And I thought, why isn't that part of the curriculum? Why isn't that added? So it's just something for me to think through. So the first class kind of went great, okay. Second class came right in after them. They only get 5 minutes to go from one class to the other, which is one of the reasons they need these passes to go to the restroom. Second class was more um, talkative. I had to keep reminding them they needed to do the worksheet. More kids wanted to go out to do whatever, go to another class. There was a fire drill. The teacher told me there was going to be one, and to go down the hall, go outside, make a left, go to the tree. The tree? Okay. So I had to think that through. Like, first of all, I didn't have a key, so I knew that I needed to kind of pull the door shut but not lock it, maybe. So I asked one of the students to go out ahead and go to the tree. Did she know where the tree was? She said, yeah. So she went to the tree. So this is like three different classes standing at this tree. One of the teachers is trying to take the role. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to make sure that they're all back when we get in the classroom because it was just a mix of kids there. And that nothing happened while they were out there. It was like what I was kind of managing, doing. Got back in the classroom, all 21 kids were there. That was great. Most of them turned in their worksheets, some of them did not. And my impression at the end was, why haven't schools figured out that this model that they're using is antiquated? The kids don't really need. I mean, I was sitting there thinking, why do you have one teacher to 20? You could be like a college class where it could be an auditorium with 200 kids and one facilitator teacher because they're not really teaching. Everything is online. It's more like a babysitting to me. So I don't know. I mean, I'm doing this mostly because I want to see what's happening in the classroom. I told my granddaughter, who's a middle schooler, that I'm going to go to her classroom. I won't go to her class, but I'll go to her school because I want to see it. And I believe that if you're an adult and you have time, especially if you are semi-retired, retired, do it. They need the help. Teachers need a break. I'm grateful to be able to do it, but just know that there's a lot of opportunity for improvement in education. Thanks for hanging out with me.